This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Colorado. I'm here with Optimal Healthcare Solutions. Since 2015, they have helped home health and care agencies save time, reduce risk, and empower their staff. I'm joined here with the owner and the consultant, Sharron Williams. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thank you.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. First of all, you were formerly educated at Prairie View A&M University. You have been an RN for really 4 decades, and you have worked in the home health and home care industry for over 20 years. Share with us, how early in life did you know that healthcare was going to be your calling and your passion?
Well, became my passion. It became my calling. When I graduated from high school, my mother, who was a registered nurse, wanted me to go to nursing school other than going to interior designing. And so I went to nursing school at Prairie View A&M, and after I joined the military. So I went military first, then to Prairie View A&M.
Wow, you actually served in the military for quite a few years. I imagine that was quite an experience for you, and I thank you for your serving.
You're welcome. Yes, it was an experience for me. I grew up in a home where my father was in the service and my brother went into the service. And so I felt that I was going to go into the service. I was expected to go into the service, and I did, and I enjoyed it.
You met up to those expectations, which is great. Let me ask you this: given your many years of experience, obviously as a registered nurse, how did that background influence you to create optimal healthcare solutions? I mean, how did this organization come about?
Well, it came about because I was in a nursing position as the director of clinical services. And after being in the third position as the director of clinical services, I realized that there was no training. The administrators had not trained me to be the director of clinical services, so I had to learn on my own. I worked out in the field as a registered nurse, going to see clients and patients. And then I moved up to the director of clinical services position. My last position was the director of clinical services. And we got into a situation where I needed to be at home with my son. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I had applied to different home health and home care consulting companies. There was only two at the time, and both of them rejected me. My husband said, "Well, why don't you just start your own?" And I said, "Boy, I married a smart man." And so I started my own company 10 years ago, and I've enjoyed every bit of it.
That is a fantastic story. You're a survivor, and your son that you stood home with is better for it today. I mean, in the past, you have been inspired really by some remarkable leaders. What specific leadership principles maybe did you learn, and how do you apply those principles today in your work and in your organization?
Biggest principle that I learned was to respect everyone, no matter what their title is. Always look at the positive in people. Try to treat people as a member rather than as an employee employer. And I've gotten along with a lot of staff member that way. I was able to integrate and be able to talk to the staff and comfortably, and they were able to come to me with their problems, and we were able to really grow a home health care agency that was struggling because the lack of staffing, and we were able to grow it and keep and maintain our staff.
Interesting. So definitely a respect of people. They're able to talk with you, and regardless of title. In the home health care industry, I mean, basically in home health as well as the care industry, there are many moving pieces to manage really on a daily basis. Can it be overwhelming for many really just to keep up? And have you seen that firsthand?
Overwhelming. If there are a lot of people that go from course, employee to employer. So they don't know all the steps, all the things that they need to do and know in order to be an effective leader. How do I run my agency? They're looking at first at just the money, how much money I can make. But then when reality hits, they're having trouble struggling with how do I lead my staff? How do I talk to my staff and be respectful of my staff so that I can keep my staff? And so those are some of the issues that leaders in the home health or home care industry come upon, and they always ask me, how can I help them with their problems?
That is excellent. One of the ways you provide them support is through training. What specific training course that you offer would you say is the most popular, and maybe explain to us why?
Train the Trainer is the most popular of the sessions that I do. All the other sessions are required by the state or the federal government. So I have like four different sessions, and they each one of the topics that I offer in the sessions are state mandated. Whereas Train the Trainer, I came up with that when people were asking me, how do I train my staff? A lot of people in the home care, personal care worker industry don't know what they can and cannot do. And they don't know how to train their staff. Again, they're going from employee to employer, and there's no program out there, there's no schooling out there to tell the home care administrator, manager, or owner how to train their staff. They're just required to train their staff. So I get a lot of people that show up for that class, and we demonstrate what things they can and cannot do. How do you transfer a patient? How do you walk with the patient?
Oh,
What are you allowed to do by state regulation? You know, um, there are state regulations that says that you can do certain things for home care agencies. So they need to understand and know what they can and cannot do, and what is considered medical or skilled and what is considered non-medical that they can do.
I mean, like you say, it's a big step from employee to employer. A lot of things they need to know and learn. Not only is the proper training of staff a regulation, but it is still one of the most valuable investments an organization makes. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. Now with home health and home care starting to grow, it's going to be, this is an industry that's just going to bust open because soon, well, they're starting to do it now. Hospitals are getting people in and out, and they're expecting home health and home care agencies to do the rest of the healing and taking care of the patients. So they're looking for qualified agencies to take care of their patients that's going to provide them the care that they need and to prevent the 20 to 30-day readmissions in the hospitals.
Interesting. How important is in person training to provide an optimal learning environment, would you say?
Very important due to the fact you have their attention. You know they're listening, and you know that they're looking and taking notes compared to doing online courses. You don't know who's behind the screen, who's watching those videos. Do they understand? They're not able to ask questions, and they're not going to get answers. I hate to say it, a lot of companies put up online courses just to make money. Whereas I like to do live in-person training because I want to make sure that you are going to go out and provide quality patient care without questioning, are you doing things right? And that way I am going to be proud of you to be able to stay in business and grow and make sure that you're in state and federal guidelines.
I would agree with you. Definitely in person training, you get so much more out of it. I mean, these training sessions allow participants to also network with each other It eliminates distractions, boredom. I mean, people get bored looking at the screen all day, doing those kind of training. In person's great. And also, they're CEU credit approved, which makes it great for people who need those as well. I mean, let's face it, this is an industry where you need to cross your T's, dot your I's, where procedures need to be spelled out. Do your regulation compliant manuals really make that possible? Kind of tell us about the manuals, please.
Oh, yes, our manuals, I'm very proud of our manuals. Our manuals follow the state regulations. We make sure that every manual that goes out our door follows state regulations or federal regulations. Right now, we're working on getting our Class A manual, which is for home health. We're working on getting that approved for the home health agencies right now, uh, and it's a matter of days. And right now, that our Class B manuals for personal care agencies, they have been approved. They're doing great. I'm gonna brag. None of the people that have come to my company have failed survey. When they buy my manuals,
That's
when they
great.
purchase my manuals and when they get my consulting services, they have all, in the past 10 years, within the past 10 years, have all passed survey, state survey.
That's great. I mean, I love it. You have all the manuals right there on your website. You even have some that are bundled up if people want to go that route and really get a lot in. Although there are certain common threads in every organization you work with, I mean, this is not a one size fits all. How does your one on one consulting really provide customized, optimal solutions?
We answer the problems. We provide the solutions to their problems. Okay, if you come to me and you ask me, how do I do billing? Well, my company does not address billing. So I'm going to tell you right there so that we're not going to waste any time. But if you tell me that you need to start, uh, I'm going to be with you all the way through until you get your license and you call and say, Sharron, I was surveyed and passed survey. So I get them from the very beginning. When they start the application process, we fill out the forms completely together. I don't just do it myself. I don't believe in that. I believe in it doing it together because it's your company. So let's sit down, do it together, and then I help you with the process of getting, like you said, the manuals, and then answer any questions, the training that you're required to have. I make sure that you go through the whole process together. So if they have any questions, if I can answer it, I'll answer it. With all the years of experience I have in home health and home care, most likely I can answer it. If not, I'm going to let you know and we're going to research it together. I stay abreast on the state and federal regulations as well.
It's always changing. I mean, regulations are changing. It's something you've got to keep up on. I mean, this is an industry that can be difficult, really, to navigate alone. You've got licensing, regulation, compliance, staffing, even marketing. You really help put these pieces of the home health puzzle really together. What has been some of the feedback of people who have gone through your program?
Most of them have just, thank you, Sharron. I passed survey. I love it when they call me or text me and yell, say, Sharron, I passed survey. Then I give them a big shout out over the phone or I mention it in the training sessions. Sometimes I do a drum roll on my desk and say, I let them know I have a client that's been struggling to get licensed to even pass survey for a year. And it's not against anything he's doing. He's got caught in the middle of the changes that they were making. And so it made for difficult. And so he just finished passing phase 1 of the survey part, and now he's getting ready to go to the next one. And so, yeah, we were thrilled and excited, to get him to the second phase because normally it wouldn't take a year to get survey, did prepare for a survey. It normally just takes a matter of months, but he got caught up in the change, and so there was some difficulty there.
That's very exciting. Kind of like the business says, ring the bell if we did a good job. You do a drum roll on the desk instead. When your people get approved like that, it's exciting. Sharron, you provide people and agencies with the tools to succeed, and many times they have told you about the difference that you have made in preparing them for success. Is this rewarding work for you?
It is, especially one of the problems some of the agencies have is when they go off the written path, okay? When they go off and they do something that they want to do and they're not, is outside state and federal regulations. So when the surveyors come back in 3 years, they get in trouble. So then they have to hire a consultant, a registered nurse as a consultant to get them back on track. Then when I go in and help them clean up the problem, and they call, and sometimes could be a matter of 6 months to a year and a half that I have to be in there and constantly going in, checking their records, checking their files, making sure that they're following the guidelines that the state says that they have to pass. And then when they call me and say, Sharron, the surveyor said that they'll see me in 3 years. You don't have to come back. I am thrilled. I am excited. I am just like a light bulb.
Your clients see problems, you see optimal solutions. I love it. What a great match. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you can see all the services they provide. I mean, be it training, manuals, or one-on-one consulting. And you can read the great reviews right there on the site. Sign up for their newsletter. I mean, they will take your home care vision and combine it with their expert guidance to ensure that you receive optimal healthcare solutions. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.